Hello aspirants, welcome to Vishwam Academy. Chapter 9 Soil ആണ് നോക്കാൻ പോകുന്നത്. Chapter 9, 10, 11 സിംഗിൾ വീഡിയോയിൽ നമ്മൾ നോക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് പോയിൻറ്റ്സ് മാത്രം കീ നോട്ട്സ് ആയിട്ട് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. ബിക്കോസ് വി ആർ ലാക്കിംഗ് ടൈം, അപ്പോൾ കീ നോട്ട്സ് മാത്രം ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ് പോയിൻറ്റ്സ് മാത്രം നോക്കാം. Chapter 9, 10, 11 നോക്കാം. First chapter, that is chapter 9 Soil. Soil is the uppermost crust that covers the earth. It is a mixture of rock particles and humus. First point is uppermost crust that covers the earth. Next point, it contains or it's a mixture of rock particles and humus. Soil is important for life on earth. Now let's see how the soil is formed. By weathering or disintegration of parent rocks. Next, physical weathering is degradation of rocks by physical agents like water, ice, wind, sun, etc. അപ്പോൾ ഡീഗ്രേഡ് ആവും റോക്സ്. ഇപ്പോൾ കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ഫ്ലോ ഓഫ് വാട്ടർ, ഐസ്, വിൻഡ് അങ്ങനെ സമയത്തൊക്കെ റോക്സ് ഗെറ്റ്സ് degrade. Thus, it terms as physical weathering and thus soil is formed. Next is chemical weathering, is the chemical decomposition of rocks. Next is biological weathering, is decomposition of parent rocks by bacteria and microorganisms. Next is soil profile. It is the vertical section of soil from the ground surface to the parent rock. Soil profile is a section through different layers of the soil. Various layers are called horizons. So it consists of various layers which is named as horizons. The profile section is in vertical section from the ground to the parent rock. So it is in vertical form. Constants of soil. Soil consists of both living and non-living matter. These constants make the soil fertile. Since it is having living and non-living, living means bacteria and non-living matter means the fertilizers, so it makes soil fertile. Types of soil. Soil is different types: clay, loamy and sandy. Sandy soil, let's first see sandy soil. It contains soil particles with a diameter of 0.2 to 2 mm. It comprises of around 60% sand along with some clay. So 60% sand plus clay. It has very low water retention capacity. It is not rich in humus. Humus means humid content, that is humus. Clayey soil, it contains soil particles with diameter of less than 0.2 mm. It has an excellent water retention capacity and air circulation is sufficient. So sandy soil has low water retention, clayey soil has excellent water retention, loamy soil has good water retention. Next, loamy soil, it contains a good mixture of sand, clay and humus. It has good water retention and air circulation is sufficient, as same as clay soil. Percolation rate of water is different in different types of soil. It is highest in the sandy soil and least in the clay soil. So percolation is highest in the sandy soil and least in the clay soil. So it is different types of soil. Different types of soils are used to cultivate different types of crops. Clay and loam are used for or suitable for growing wheat, gram and paddy. Cotton is grown in sandy loam soil. So clay and loam for wheat, gram, paddy. Cotton is grown in sandy loam soil. Soil holds water in it, which is called soil moisture. The capacity of soil to hold water is important for various crops. Clay soil is used to make pots, toys and statues. Next is chapter 10. Respiration in organism. Respiration is essential for survival of living organism. It releases energy from the food. The oxygen we inhale is used to break down glucose into carbon dioxide and water. So oxygen helps to break down the glucose into carbon dioxide and water and thus and in that process energy is released. The breakdown of glucose occurs in the cell of an organism, that is cellular respiration. During heavy exercise, when the supply of oxygen to our muscle cells is insufficient, food breakdown is by anaerobic respiration. Aerobic means using oxygen, anaerobic means without oxygen. During heavy exercise, when the supply of oxygen to our muscle cells is insufficient. Types of respiration. External respiration, process in which oxygen is taken inside the body and carbon dioxide is given out. It is called breathing, exhale and inhale process. External respiration, respiration in plants and animals, humans. Respiration in plants. Leaves have pores called stomata for gaseous exchange by diffusion. Stems have openings called lenticels for gaseous exchange by diffusion. So leaves have pores, stems have lenticels. Roots have stomatal pores for gaseous exchange of oxygen dissolved in soil water. Next is respiration animals. It is according to their character. First, let us see about earthworm. It respirates through skin, insects through entire body surface, fish through their gills, frogs through its thin, moist and smooth skin when in water, and by lungs when in land. So frogs lives in both water and land. So in water they uses skin and in land it uses lungs. Respiration in humans, it is through windpipe as we discussed in the previous videos. It inhale air passes through nostrils into nasal cavity and then into the lungs through windpipe. Breathing is a part of the process of respiration during which an organism takes in the oxygen rich air and gives out air rich in carbon dioxide. So when inhaling, the air is oxygen rich, and while exhaling, the air is carbon dioxide rich. The respiratory organs for the exchange of gases vary in different organisms. During inhalation, our lungs expand and then come back to original state as their air moves out during exhalation. So during inhalation, the lungs expand, and during exhalation, it comes back to the original state. Increased physical activity enhances the rate of breathing. That's why we breathe heavily when we do exercise. In animals like cow, buffalo, dog and cat, the respiratory organs and the process of breathing are similar to those in humans. Next, internal respiration, process in which food is broken down in body cells through various chemical reactions. Internal respirations are further classified into two parts. So internal respirations means the food we took in body, it broken down in body cells through various chemical reaction. That is internal respiration, and that process is internal respiration. It has two parts, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Food molecules are combined with oxygen. So there is presence of oxygen. As I said, presence of oxygen means aerobic, and get oxidized inside cell into carbon dioxide and water along with energy. Next is anaerobic respiration. Food molecules are broken without using oxygen along with the release of energy. That is anaerobic respiration. Next is transportation in animals and plants. That is chapter 11. In most animals, the blood that circulates in the body distributes food and oxygen to different cells of the body. Okay, so in most animals, the blood that circulates in the body, it distributes food and oxygen to different cells. So the blood circulates in different cells of the body. It also carries waste product to different parts of the body for excretion. This all we discussed in the last chapters. Circulatory system consists of the heart and blood vessels. So for blood circulation, we need heart and blood vessels. In humans, blood flows through arteries and veins, and the heart acts as a pumping organ. So blood flows through arteries and veins. Blood is the fluid which flows in blood vessels. Right, it transports substance like digested food from the small intestine to the other parts of the body. Thus, we get energy. We get energy when we eat food, right? Blood consists of plasma, RBC, WBC, and platelets. So, four substances are there in blood. Blood is red due to the presence of red pigment that is called hemoglobin. The human heart beats about 70 to 80 times per minute in an adult person. This is called heart rate. Arteries carry blood from the heart to all the parts of the body. So arteries carry blood from the heart and veins carry blood from all parts of the body back to the heart. So you should not confuse it. Arteries carry arteries from heart to all the bodies, veins from all the parts to heart. So it's vice versa, it's opposite to arteries. Again, arteries from heart to body, veins from body to heart. Removal of waste products from the body is called excretion. Excretory system consists of two kidneys, two ureters, a urinary bladder, and urethra. Salts and urea are removed along with water as sweat. Thus, the sweat tastes salty. Fish excrete waste substance such as ammonia, which is directly dissolved in water. Birds, insects, and lizards excrete uric acid in semi-solid form. Water and mineral nutrients are absorbed by roots from the soil. Nutrients are transported along with water to the entire plant via the vascular tissue called xylem. So we need to remember the function of xylem. Nutrients are transported along with water to the entire plant via xylem. The vascular tissue for the transport of food to the various parts of the plant is phloem. So xylem and phloem. Xylem means nutrients transporting to the entire plant, but phloem means the transport of food to the various parts. A lot of water is lost by plants in the form of vapor through stomata during transpiration. Transpiration generates a force which pulls up water absorbed by the roots from the soil to reach the stem and leaves. So, transpiration helps to reach the water absorbed by the roots from the soil to stems and leaves. So 3 chapters finish, 9, 10, 11. Rest of the chapter we can take it in next week.